What if I told you that the chronic pain you've been living with for years, the afternoon fatigue that hits you like a wall, and even that brain fog you can't shake, could all be connected to what you ate for breakfast this morning? Here's something your doctor might not have told you. After age 50, your body's inflammatory response changes dramatically. But there's a silver lining. 7 specific foods, backed by rigorous scientific research, can actually reprogram how your body handles inflammation. And the results? Some people report feeling a decade younger within just weeks. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which foods these are, how much to eat, and why they work at the cellular level. But here's the catch. Food number 5 is probably sitting in your kitchen right now, yet 80% of people over 50 are using it completely wrong. Welcome to Prime Motion 60+, where we unlock the science of aging well. I'm here to give you evidence-based strategies that actually work. If you're serious about reducing pain, boosting energy, and taking control of your health after 50, hit that subscribe button right now. Trust me, you'll want to see what's coming next. Let's start with something important. Inflammation isn't always your enemy. When you cut your finger or catch a cold, acute inflammation is your body's emergency response team rushing in to heal and protect you. That's healthy inflammation, but chronic inflammation? That's a completely different story. After 50, something shifts in your body. Your immune system starts producing more inflammatory compounds even when there's no injury or infection to fight. Scientists call this inflammaging. Think of it like a smoke alarm that won't turn off, constantly sending distress signals throughout your body. This persistent low-grade inflammation is now linked to nearly every condition we associate with aging: arthritis and joint pain, cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, cognitive decline and memory issues, persistent fatigue, and even depression. Here's what makes this truly fascinating. Researchers have discovered that your diet can either fuel this inflammatory fire or help extinguish it. The foods you choose aren't just providing calories and nutrients. They're sending biochemical signals to your genes, influencing how your immune system behaves. A landmark study published in the Journal of Internal Medicine followed over 68,000 adults for 16 years. Those who consistently ate an anti-inflammatory diet had an 18% lower risk of all-cause mortality and significantly reduced markers of systemic inflammation. So today, we're diving deep into 7 foods that have the strongest scientific evidence for reducing inflammation after 50. These aren't trendy superfoods or expensive supplements. These are accessible, affordable foods that can transform how you feel. But we need to talk about how to use them correctly because timing and preparation matter more than you think. Let's get started. Salmon, mackerel, sardines, and anchovies top our list. And here's why. They're the richest dietary source of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA. These omega-3 South are anti-inflammatory powerhouses. When you consume them, they get incorporated into your cell membranes and compete with omega-6 fatty acids, which tend to promote inflammation when out of balance. The omega-3 South literally change the structure of your cells, making them less reactive to inflammatory triggers. Multiple studies show that people who eat fatty fish at least twice a week have significantly lower levels of C-reactive protein, or CRP, which is a key marker of systemic inflammation. One study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that participants over 50 who consumed fish regularly had up to 29% lower CRP levels compared to those who rarely ate fish. But here's what most people get wrong. Cooking method matters enormously. Grilling or frying fish at high temperatures can actually create inflammatory compounds called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. These counteract the benefits you're trying to get. The best preparation methods are baking at moderate temperatures, around 350 degrees Fahrenheit, poaching, or steaming. Wild-caught fish typically have higher omega-3 content than farmed varieties. Your action step: aim for 2 to 3 servings per week of fatty fish, each serving about 3 to 4 ounces. If you're not a fish lover, we'll talk about alternatives in a moment. Spinach, kale, Swiss chard collard greens, and arugula are inflammation-fighting machines, and the reason comes down to their incredible nutrient density. These greens are loaded with vitamin K, which plays a crucial role in regulating your inflammatory response. They're also rich in vitamin E, vitamin C, and an arsenal of polyphenolic compounds including quercetin and kaempferol. These compounds act as antioxidants, neutralizing free radicals that trigger inflammatory pathways. Here is something remarkable. A study in Neurology Journal followed over 950 older adults for nearly 5 years. Those who ate just 1 to 2 servings of leafy greens daily had cognitive abilities equivalent to people 11 years younger. The researchers believe the anti-inflammatory effects protected brain cells from age-related decline. Leafy greens also contain alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3 that helps balance your inflammatory response. But there's a preparation secret most people don't know. Eating leafy greens with a source of healthy fat dramatically increases absorption of their fat-soluble vitamins and compounds. That's why a spinach salad with olive oil dressing is exponentially more beneficial than eating spinach alone. Also, lightly cooking greens like spinach and kale can actually increase the bioavailability of certain nutrients, including calcium and iron, by breaking down compounds that inhibit absorption. Eat 1 to 2 cups of leafy greens daily. Mix raw and cooked preparations throughout the week. Add them to smoothies, omelets, soups, or simply saute them with garlic and olive oil. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries are among the most potent anti-inflammatory foods on the planet, and the science behind this is absolutely fascinating. Berries contain compounds called anthocyanins, which give them their deep blue, red, and purple colors. These anthocyanins have been shown in numerous studies to reduce inflammatory markers, particularly in older adults. A groundbreaking study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition had participants over age 50 consume 1 cup of blueberries daily for 6 weeks. The results? Significant reductions in inflammatory markers and improvements in arterial stiffness, suggesting better cardiovascular health. But here's what makes berries especially valuable for people over 50. They have a low glycemic index, meaning they don't spike your blood sugar the way other sweet foods do. High blood sugar triggers inflammatory responses, so keeping blood sugar stable is crucial for controlling inflammation. Berries are also incredibly rich in vitamin C, manganese, and fiber. The fiber feeds beneficial gut bacteria, which produce short-chain fatty acids that have powerful anti-inflammatory effects throughout your body. We're learning that gut health and systemic inflammation are deeply connected. Fresh or frozen doesn't matter much nutritionally. Frozen berries are picked at peak ripeness and flash frozen, preserving their nutrient content. In fact, some studies show frozen berries may actually have slightly higher antioxidant levels than fresh berries that have been sitting on shelves. Your action step: eat at least 1 cup of mixed berries daily. Add them to your morning yogurt or oatmeal, blend them into smoothies, or simply eat them as a snack. If you're watching carbohydrates, pair them with protein or healthy fat to further stabilize blood sugar. This is one of the most well-researched anti-inflammatory foods in existence, primarily because it's a cornerstone of the Mediterranean diet, which has decades of scientific validation. Extra virgin olive oil contains a compound called oleocanthal, which researchers have discovered works similarly to ibuprofen in your body. It inhibits the same inflammatory enzymes, COX-1 and COX-2, that non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs target. A study published in Nature found that 50 grams of extra virgin olive oil, that's about 3.5 tablespoons, provides anti-inflammatory activity similar to about 10% of the adult ibuprofen dose. But olive oil offers something pharmaceutical anti-inflammatories don't: cardiovascular protection. The monounsaturated fats in olive oil, particularly oleic acid, help reduce LDL cholesterol oxidation, a key step in developing atherosclerosis. Multiple large studies have shown that people who consume olive oil regularly have significantly lower rates of heart disease and stroke. Olive oil is also rich in polyphenols, plant compounds with powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. These polyphenols help protect your cells from oxidative stress, which increases as we age. Now, here's the critical part that food number 5 builds on. Quality matters tremendously. True extra virgin olive oil is made by simply pressing olives, with no heat or chemicals. But many products labeled extra virgin are actually refined oils or blends that have lost most of their beneficial compounds. Look for these quality indicators: a harvest date on the bottle, preferably within the last year. Stored in dark glass bottles, as light degrades the oil. Terms like cold-pressed or first press. And ideally certification seals from organizations like the California Olive Oil Council or the International Olive Council. Also, don't fear using olive oil for cooking. While it's true that heating can degrade some nutrients, Extra virgin olive oil is quite heat stable for most home cooking temperatures. Your action step: use 2 to 3 tablespoons of high-quality extra virgin olive oil daily. Drizzle it on salads, vegetables, and finished dishes. Use it for light sautéing and roasting under 375 degrees Fahrenheit. This is the food I mentioned at the beginning that most people are using incorrectly. Let me explain. Turmeric contains curcumin, one of the most powerful natural anti-inflammatory compounds ever studied. Curcumin blocks NF-kappa B, a molecule that travels into the nuclei of your cells and turns on genes related to inflammation. Many scientists believe that chronic activation of NF-kappa B plays a major role in many chronic diseases. The research on curcumin is extensive. A study in the Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine found that curcumin was as effective as pharmaceutical anti-inflammatory drugs in treating osteoarthritis pain but without the gastrointestinal side effects. Other studies have shown curcumin may help with rheumatoid arthritis, inflammatory bowel conditions, depression, and even cognitive decline. A study published in the American Journal of Geriatric Psychiatry found that people taking curcumin daily for 18 months showed significant improvements in memory and mood. But here's the problem. Curcumin is poorly absorbed by your body. When you consume turmeric alone, only about 1% of the curcumin actually makes it into your bloodstream. The rest passes through your digestive system unused. So what's the solution? 2 things that dramatically increase curcumin absorption. First, black pepper. Black pepper contains piperine, a compound that enhances curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. That's not a typo. 20 times more curcumin enters your bloodstream when consumed with black pepper. Second, fat. Curcumin is fat-soluble, so consuming turmeric with healthy fats like olive oil, coconut oil, or full-fat dairy significantly improves absorption. This is why traditional Indian cuisine, which uses turmeric extensively, almost always combines it with black pepper and oil. They figured this out through centuries of culinary wisdom, and now science has proven why it works. Your action step: use 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric daily, always combined with a pinch of black pepper and a source of healthy fat. Add it to scrambled eggs cooked in olive oil, blend it into smoothies with full-fat yogurt, or make golden milk by mixing it with warm milk, black pepper, and a touch of honey. You can also take curcumin supplements, but look for formulations that include piperine or are specially formulated for enhanced absorption. Almonds, walnuts, cashews, pistachios, and pecans are anti-inflammatory powerhouses packed with nutrients your body needs after 50. Nuts provide a perfect combination of healthy fats, fiber, protein, vitamins, and minerals. They're particularly rich in vitamin E, an antioxidant that protects your cell membranes from inflammatory damage. They also contain magnesium, which plays a role in over 300 enzymatic reactions in your body, many related to controlling inflammation. Walnuts deserve special attention because they're the only nut with a significant amount of alpha-linolenic acid, that plant-based omega-3 we mentioned earlier. Studies show that people who eat walnuts regularly have lower levels of inflammatory markers, including CRP. A large study published in the New England Journal of Medicine followed over 120 people for 30 years and found that those who ate nuts daily had a 20% lower mortality rate from all causes, including significant reductions in deaths from heart disease and cancer. The researchers attributed much of this benefit to the anti-inflammatory properties of nuts. But here's something important. Portion control matters. Nuts are calorie-dense, and eating too many can lead to weight gain, which itself promotes inflammation. The sweet spot appears to be about 1 ounce per day. That's roughly a small handful or about 23 almonds, 14 walnut halves, or 18 cashews. Also, avoid roasted nuts with added oils and salt when possible. Raw or dry roasted nuts without added ingredients retain more of their natural nutrients. Some people find that soaking nuts overnight and then dehydrating them makes them easier to digest and may enhance nutrient availability. Your action step: eat 1 ounce of mixed nuts daily. Add them to salads, oatmeal, or yogurt, or simply eat them as a snack. Store them in the refrigerator or freezer to prevent the healthy fats from going rancid. Green tea is one of the healthiest beverages on the planet, and its anti-inflammatory effects are well documented in scientific literature. The key compound in green tea is epigallocatechin gallate, or EGCG, a powerful polyphenol with remarkable anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. EGCG has been shown to reduce the production of inflammatory cytokines and protect cells from damage caused by free radicals. What makes green tea especially valuable for people over 50 is its potential to protect against age-related cognitive decline. Multiple studies have found that regular green tea consumption is associated with a lower risk of dementia and Alzheimer's disease. The anti-inflammatory compounds appear to protect brain cells from the inflammatory processes that contribute to neurodegeneration. Green tea has also been shown to improve cardiovascular health by reducing LDL cholesterol oxidation and improving blood vessel function. A study in the Journal of the American Medical Association found that people who drank 5 or more cups of green tea daily had a 26% lower risk of death from cardiovascular disease. Green tea also supports metabolic health and may help with weight management, which indirectly reduces inflammation. Excess body fat, particularly visceral fat around your organs, produces inflammatory compounds. By supporting healthy metabolism, green tea helps address inflammation at its source. Now, preparation matters. Brewing green tea with water that is too hot can destroy some of its beneficial compounds and create a bitter taste. The ideal temperature is around 160 to 180 degrees Fahrenheit, well below boiling. Steep for 2 to 3 minutes for optimal flavor and nutrient extraction. Also, drinking green tea with lemon may enhance the absorption of its beneficial compounds. Vitamin C helps stabilize the catechins in green tea, making them more bioavailable. One caution: green tea contains caffeine, though less than coffee. If you're sensitive to caffeine or drinking it in the evening, consider decaffeinated green tea, which retains most of the beneficial compounds. Your action step: drink 2 to 3 cups of green tea daily. Brew it properly with water around 170 degrees Fahrenheit, steep for 2 to 3 minutes, and consider adding fresh lemon. Space your cups throughout the day for sustained anti-inflammatory benefits. Now that you know the 7 foods, let's talk about how to implement this in your daily life. Here's a simple framework. Think of these foods as the foundation of your daily eating pattern, not as isolated add-ons. The most powerful effects come from consistent consumption over time, not from occasionally eating these foods. A sample day might look like this. Breakfast: green tea with a bowl of oatmeal topped with berries, walnuts, and a sprinkle of turmeric with black pepper. Mid-morning snack: a small handful of almonds. Lunch: large spinach salad with grilled salmon, cherry tomatoes, and extra virgin olive oil dressing. Another cup of green tea. Afternoon snack: Greek yogurt with blueberries. Dinner: baked mackerel with roasted vegetables drizzled with olive oil, and a side of sautéed kale with garlic. Evening: a cup of green tea. Notice how every meal incorporates at least 1 or 2 of our anti-inflammatory foods. This approach creates a cumulative effect throughout the day. It's also important to mention what to avoid. Highly processed foods, refined sugars, trans fats, and excessive omega-6 fatty acids from vegetable oils all promote inflammation. Even if you're eating these 7 beneficial foods, continuing to consume large amounts of inflammatory foods will undermine your progress. The goal isn't perfection, it's consistent improvement. Start by adding 1 or 2 of these foods to your daily routine this week. Next week, add another. Within a month, these anti-inflammatory choices will become second nature. Many people report noticeable changes within 2 to 4 weeks. Less joint stiffness in the morning, more sustained energy throughout the day, better sleep quality, improved mental clarity, and reduced overall pain levels. Keep in mind that individual responses vary. Some people see dramatic improvements quickly, while others experience more gradual changes. Be patient with your body and stay consistent. So let's recap the 7 foods that can help reduce inflammation, decrease pain, and boost your energy after 50. Fatty fish like salmon and mackerel for omega-3 south. Leafy greens like spinach and kale for their nutrient density. Berries for anthocyanins and antioxidants. Extra virgin olive oil for oleocanthal and healthy fats. Turmeric with black pepper for curcumin absorption. Nuts for vitamin E and healthy fats, and green tea for EGCG and polyphenols. These aren't exotic, expensive, or difficult to find. They're real foods that you can start eating today. And the science supporting their anti-inflammatory effects is robust and growing stronger every year. But here is what I want you to remember most. Aging doesn't have to mean accepting pain, fatigue, and declining health as inevitable. Your daily choices matter enormously. The foods you eat aren't just fuel. They're information that your body uses to decide whether to promote inflammation or support healing. You have more control over how you age than you probably realize. And it starts with what's on your plate. Before you go, I want to ask you something. What was the most surprising thing you learned in this video? Was it the connection between turmeric and black pepper? The fact that frozen berries are just as nutritious as fresh? Or maybe how olive oil works like natural ibuprofen? Drop a comment below and let me know. I read every single comment, and your insights help me create better content for this community. If you found this video valuable, please hit that like button. It helps more people over 50 discover this information and take control of their health. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Here at Prime Motion 60+, we're building a community of people who refuse to let age define their limitations. We dive deep into the science of healthy aging, and every video is packed with practical, evidence-based strategies you can implement immediately. Click that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Coming up next week, I'm covering something really important: the 5 worst foods that accelerate inflammation and aging, including some health foods that might surprise you. You won't want to miss that one. Until then, here's my challenge for you. Pick 2 foods from today's list and commit to eating them every day this week. Just 2, see how you feel. Pay attention to your energy, your pain levels, your mental clarity. Then come back and let me know in the comments. Remember, small consistent actions create remarkable results over time. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep moving forward.